So when we will get a break, whenever we would feel that we need a break from our regular Bhagavad Gita class, we'll pick up one of these topics. So we are gonna pick Rise Above Duality today. Okay, so let's get started. So in the Rise Above Duality, the topic that we are gonna cover today, we'll first hear a story, the story of an old man, and then from that story we'll derive our understanding about duality. Then we'll understand what is duality from Oxford definition perspective and how the duality exists in different areas in our life. And then why to rise above duality. Some people might say that, okay, we have understood what is duality and everything, but why do we need to really rise above it? Can't we just enjoy in duality? And then we'll see how. That's where the search of absolute truth starts. That's where the spirituality comes into picture. Okay. So let's hear this story. If you are not able to hear the voice, please let me know. I'm gonna start it now.
The story of the farmer who lost his horse. There was once an old Zen farmer. Every day the farmer used his horse in the field to help him with the work. He loved his horse very much. One day his horse ran away. All the villagers came by and said, "We are so sorry to hear this. This is such bad luck." But the farmer responded, "Bad luck or good luck, who knows?" The villagers were confused but decided to ignore him. A few weeks went by, and then one afternoon, while the farmer was working outside, he looked up and he saw his horse running towards him. But the horse was not alone. The horse had returned back with a whole herd of horses. So now the farmer had 10 horses to help him in his field work. All the villagers came by to congratulate the farmer and said, "Wow, this is such good luck." But the farmer responded, "Good luck or bad luck, who knows?" A few weeks later, the farmer's son came to visit and help his father on the farm. While trying to tame one of the horses, the farmer's son fell and broke his leg. The villagers came by to show sympathy and said, "How awful, this is such bad luck." Just as he did the first time, the farmer responded, "Good luck or bad luck, who knows?" A month later, the farmer's son was still recovering. He wasn't able to walk or do any manual labor to help his father around the field. During this time, a war had broken out. A regiment of the army came marching through the town, recruiting every able-bodied young man to join them. When the regiment came to the farmer's house and saw the young man's broken leg, they marched past and left him where he lay. Once again, all the villagers came by and said, "Amazing! This is such good luck! You are so fortunate!" Friends, I'm sure you know the farmer's reply to them. Good luck or bad luck, who knows?
Good luck, bad luck, who knows? So everyone understood the whole story. I think some of you joined till late. So it is a story of a farmer who had a very nice, amazing young horse. And one day the horse ran away. So his friend said, "Oh, what a bad luck. You had such a nice horse and just got lost." And then after a few days, the same horse returned back with a herd of horses. Now the same group of people again came and they say, "Wow, you have such a good luck." And every time something was happening to him, he was saying, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Similarly, one day, his son, who was trying to tame the house, he fell down and then he broke his leg. And everybody was like, "Oh, what a bad luck. You had so many horses and they were so much helping you. But because of them, your son broke his leg and now he's he's resting, you know. So you such a bad luck." Then he says, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" And what that turned out to be a good luck, because a lot of army regiment, they came to recruit the young boys in their army, and his son was not recruited. What happened later? All of them they recruited, they had to sacrifice their life in the battle, because opposite There is a neighboring country who were attacked. So his son was saved. And then all of the villagers again came and said, "Oh, what a good luck." And then he again said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" This is the whole story. So now the question is, what is our understanding from this story? Good luck, bad luck, who knows? This is a very famous story though. So I would like to hear from you, Neha Mataji. Would you like to share what is our understanding with this story?
Um, there is nothing called luck. Like I remember in one of the classes you had mentioned there's nothing like luck. Everything is outcome of our karma,
Yeah.
good or bad. So, and
Yeah.
we can choose what happens to us in future
Yep.
based on our karma.
Yes. Okay. That's our understanding. Anand Prabhu, you would like to share?
There is nothing in this universe which moves without the consent of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and and whatever comes, whether it is good luck or bad luck,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on how we receive it and how we perceive it. So I feel, I feel that it's
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
so whatever. Yeah,
that's another point. You're saying that it's a matter of perception how you see it. Okay.
right.
Smita Mataji, would like to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
See, I feel it is really our actions that matter. There's nothing like luck. What we do
Mm-hmm.
should be with good conscience. If you do things with good conscience, it will
Mm-hmm.
build your karma well, and then good things will happen to you anyway in that manner.
Mm. Correct, correct, correct. So yeah, all of the answers are close to the definition of duality. You see, in this word, what uh, what what Krishna is saying to Arjuna when Arjuna was saying that I cannot fight, better I leave the fight and just take renunciation. So Krishna says, Trigunne Vishya Veda Nistragunne Bhavarjuna Nirdvando. What is that word? Nirdvando. Nirdvando. Nirdvando Nitya Satvasto Niryogchem Atmavan. So what is Dvand? What is the meaning of Dvand in English?
Fight.
Or you can say duality also. That is the conflict. So this word is full of dvand, which means there will be good, bad, summer, winter. There is always opposite in this word. Like it's a relative word or relative truth. For example, I am driving my car with 75 speed. So let's say I am driving with 75 speed, and on the same road ahead of me, you are also driving on 75 speed. So your speed in relation to my speed will be what? 0. This is a relative word that we are talking about. But the person who is standing on the road, he can clearly tell that, okay, you are also driving 75, he is also driving 75. So this is called Nitya Satvasto. He is rightly situated. The person who is in these cars, he is moving. So he will not be able to tell the correct speed. The one who is Nitya Satvasto on the road is standing, he can tell. So what so in this word, if you look back in our life, for example, when I was pursuing engineering, that time I used to think just get a good job of 25,000, 30,000 per month, that's enough. I would be satisfied with that. But as soon as I got the offer letter, immediately more dreams started coming up. And as soon as I entered first day in my company, I entered in the company, I was like, no, I need to try for promotion, all those appraisals, and then on-site opportunity, and once you come here, then green card, so many things. So what I'm trying to say is, every small good thing happens, then again a next chase starts, and anytime some bad thing happens, again something else starts. So this is the duality of this word, which means happiness and distress will keep coming. You can never avoid happiness, you can never avoid distress. For example, a person is driving the car and he has nothing to do, but someone will hit his car from back. I mean, he has not done anything, he is driving nicely, peacefully, no issues, and then suddenly someone hits the car. and some misery starts, So this is the world we are living in. The happiness and distress keep falling on us, even without our much endeavor. So this is called the word of duality. And that's what the understanding of this farmer is in this story. He's saying that what luck you are talking about, you have a very limited perception of seeing the things. With that limited perception, you are saying, oh, this was bad for me, or this is good for me. But actually, you don't know the full perspective. The full perspective of this world is the things as bad or good will keep happening. And we have to go beyond this. If we will stuck in this good and bad, we'll always get stuck in this good and bad. So we'll have to rise beyond this world of duality. Now let's see. Yes, Devesh.
One of my friend used to say line which is very much similar, getting fit here. ना खुशी अच्छी है ना मलाल अच्छा है, यार जिस हाल में रखे वो हाल अच्छा है. मतलब यहाँ पे यार जो है भगवान को डिनोट करके कहा गया है कि the situation whenever or he thinks is best for us, we are happy with that.
Correct. But to be happy in that, we cannot do artificially. That's where our bhakti yoga comes into picture. So we'll look around it in more detail now. Thank you, Devishnu. You see, this Oxford definition of duality says the state of having two parts of speech. Dual means two. So duality means, so when we say in this word there is duality, it means the word of in this word everything has two parts. Like in social level, there is a social duality, democracy, or authoritarianism. Like in democracy, some people say, oh, democracy is actually really good. 100 people come together, and let's say majority, at least 51, is deciding that he is the right person for to be a leader. Then it's good. Democracy is good. But then opponents of democracy will say, oh, what is this? You are making a very blunt assumption here. You are saying that majority of your group can decide who is the right person to be a leader. So it's like majority is intelligent. What majority will decide, they will intelligent enough to. So again, you see the dual thing here. This on a social level also there are several issues. One of them is whether we should go with democracy or authoritarianism. Like in China, there is no democracy. There is one person who is leading and who is ruling the country. Similarly, on philosophical level, you will see the duality, mind or body. Some people say there is nothing beyond body, and some people say no, there is something beyond body also. Like when I was in San Antonio few years back, and me and my wife were in this famous, very beautiful market we were roaming, and there were several people. They were having various billboards, and on them it was written, "Do you?" Yeah, they're like, "Does God exist?" So their headline was, "Does God exist?" And they were really marketing, "Does God exist? Does God exist? Come and talk to us." So I approached them and I started talking to them. So what they were preaching, that there is nothing beyond body, all the spiritualism and everything that is running, it's like a propaganda and things like that. So they are firmly convinced that there is nothing beyond body. And there is other aspect of which comes to spirituality, where we understand that there is mind, body, soul, and super soul. Similarly, in sports, you see victory and defeat is also duality. Some people get stuck with victory so much so that if their party will not win, one time in India-Pakistan match, people used to break their television sets if India is gonna lose the match. So that's also. So these are all examples of dualities in this word that we are discussing. Like offense and defense, we see in football match. So offense focuses on scoring points and goals, while defense aims to prevent the opposing party for scoring. You understand, right? So these are all the dualities in this word. In whichever area we are stuck in duality. So what I'm trying to say is, if we are stuck in duality, we'll stuck in this word. It's as simple as that. Because these are the products of duality, or these are the products of material world. So if we are stuck in this product, it means we will stuck in this material world, which means we will stuck in this relative world, where happiness, distress, these things will keep coming. Now let's see what Krishna tells Arjuna. So we were just discussing about it. So Krishna was saying that Trigunya Vishya Veda Nistra Gunya Bhavarjuna Nirdandva Nitya Sattvastu Niryokshem Atman. So Krishna is saying, hey Arjuna, these Vedas, they deal on mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. Can any one of you tell me what are the three modes of material nature? Let me ask Shweta Mataji. Shweta Mataji, do you remember three modes of material nature?
Yeah, it is Rajva, Sattva, and Tamas.
Yes. So we can say mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Yeah.
So what you see in our world, the education system is not teaching us Vedas, but at that time also, where the Vedic culture was very much followed, even that time where Vedas were being taught, even that time also Krishna was saying that don't stuck in Vedas. He's asking Arjuna, don't stuck in Vedas. Like in today world, you go to YouTube and you will hear different motivational speaker, go think positive, do positive, don't do this, that. All these are actually the teachings of Vedas. And that's where person gets stuck in the three modes of material nature. What are the three modes that we discussed, which is mode of goodness, good to others, all good to others, feed food to hungry people, help those are in need. This is the mode of goodness, which is good. And then comes passion, mode of passion, and then comes ignorance. So in mode of passion, person wants to continuously work. Like he will open the laptop in the morning and then continuously keep working late in night. Like his whole and soul, the purpose of this life is just to do coding or don't know what. But as a matter of passion, keep working. And then ignorance means he'll be lazy, delaying the work. No, I will do this tomorrow. Not very much motivated to do his own duty. That's all. So the ignorance, what Vedas are actually doing, they are bringing the person on upper level. So person who is ignorance, they will educate him that no, there is a duty, we should do duty, things like that. The person who is in passion, they will explain him that no, it's good to take care of others. So Arjuna was actually thinking he was in a mode of passion. As a Kshatriya, he has to fight. So he's in a mode of passion to do his duty. But he was trying to come in a mode of passion, out of compassion. Passion was trying to bring him on a mode of goodness. So he was thinking that, oh no, I should be doing good to others. I should not kill them. And that's where Krishna immediately asked him that don't stuck in these three modes. Because if you are stuck in these three modes, it means what? You are staying in duality. Because duality means good or bad. And if you are stuck in good and bad, you are stuck in this world. So that is why Bhagavad Gita is a supreme science. Why? Because it is bringing the mankind from this material world, out of this material world, taking one to transcendence. That's why Krishna says, be free from all dualities. Don't stuck here. And then what? Established in the self. Now, what is the meaning of established in the self? What is self here? Self means soul. Which means you get Gyan Chakshu. This is called Gyan. I'm writing in Hindi. Gyan Chakshu means eyes of knowledge. So you look at everything with the eyes of knowledge. Don't look at, like people say, in Bollywood movies it is said, go by your heart. My heart will ask me to have drink. My heart will ask me to have drugs, which means what? I should go and have it. We should go by knowledge. That's what Krishna is asking Arjuna. Have Jnana Chakshu, and with the Jnana Chakshu, then you do it. So Jnana means knowing about Krishna. Chakshu means knowledge. So Jnana Chakshu means, Jnana means knowledge, and Chakshu means eyes. So having the eyes of knowledge, and then take decisions based on that. Because if we don't have knowledge, whatever decisions we will take, that will be derived out of these three modes. So we'll stuck in this duality. So that's where Krishna is actually scolding Arjuna. And what are you doing? And it is amazing, right? Before Arjuna accepted Krishna as his spiritual master, as a friend, Krishna was saying, "Oh no, you should fight actually, because if you will fight, then and you win, then you will enjoy the kingdom. And even if you lose, then you will enjoy the heavenly planet. So there is no loss." But as soon as Arjun says that no, I'm accepting you as a spiritual master, then immediately Krishna says, okay, I have to give you the knowledge. You should take Gyan Chakshu, you should not stuck in winning or losing, you do your duty. Like that, Krishna started explaining him, you are the soul, you are not the body. Okay. Now, some people might say that, well, there is no problem anyway. We see, even if we are in duality, what is the problem? We are having good time. See, the person who is saying I am a good time is actually lying, because the world has not created in a way that it will give us a good time. We are even this body itself. We all have experience, right? Even this body itself is not giving us a good time. Carrying the body itself is a pain. How it's a pain? Because sometime or other you will not expect any miseries coming out of it, but they will they will come. For example, I have cervical pain. I don't enjoy cervical pain and pray to the Lord, please give me cervical pain. But the body or the world has been designed that way. There are some examples I'm going to show you. The people those are actually stuck in this duality. So this is one example. The Indian government says 33 IIT students died by suicide in last 5 years. This is the result of duality. So what happens, have you must have heard this word from me in previous Bhagavad Gita classes. This is called conditioned life. We discussed this in our classes, that how an elephant, we took an example of elephant, how an elephant is conditioned, who was freely enjoying in a forest, and when someone from circus gets hold of him, becomes his master, then the elephant's only aim becomes to please his master. Right? So that elephant who was freely enjoying in forest, now he thinks that his only solo aim in life is to please his master, which means his life has become conditioned now. He was free, he was enjoying separate in the forest, no problem. But now, because someone got hold of him, his life is conditioned. So similarly, um, you see these students, they were having nice time, enjoying freely, but why? But because of this duality is like, um, if you get admission into IIT, you are something, you are successful, otherwise you are not. So success and failure is a duality. And some people are so much conditioned into this that if they don't get their definition of success, they leave their life. They commit suicide. Even if someone is not committing suicide, for example, then they will go into depression, or they will go into other things like stress, because of which they will have BP problems or things like that. That's why I'm saying that you will not see any saint who is having the mental problems. Why? Because mentally they are very healthy. They don't stuck in duality. And what we chase in this world, like I think yesterday also our temple president was giving this lecture on this, that big people in this world, why they are committing suicide. This is an example. Texas Roadhouse restaurant founder and CEO Kent Taylor died by suicide. See, this is another example. Vijay Siddharth. Vijay Siddharth is actually the chairman of Cafe Coffee Day in India. This guy also committed suicide in Bangalore. So according to reports, he died by suicide due to huge financial losses in his business. For him, being rich was the ultimate aim of his life. You see, he became an entrepreneur, such a moment of happiness. And then he got his company listed in Nasdaq exchange, another moment of happiness. Like that, he must have raised so many moments of happiness, and then suddenly loss. Another distress starts, and then so more loss, more distress, more distress, more distress, and then eventually he committed suicide. So this is the duality: happiness, distress, happiness, distress. Another example: Bed Bath and Beyond CFO Gustavo Arnold died by suicide. These are all billionaires. billionaire Thomas H. Lee, he also committed suicide. He was a big guy in New York Exchange, the financier, and he committed also suicide. You might feel though these are extreme examples, right? Sometimes if you know these are extreme examples, why are we are showing these examples? Because these are the aspirations we must be having now or before in our life, um, where we stuck and neglected some other important part of our life. For example, sometimes we stuck chasing these things and we ignore our relationships, or sometimes we ignore our health itself. So that is the problem with duality. That on one side will go towards too extreme because we have given certain definition of being success. Um, so we lose a lot of aspects of our life just in chasing one thing. And what happens eventually? We stuck in this world also. Next time, again, we take birth in the same world. Prabhupada used to say one person, he was dying, at the time of deathbed. He was a very rich guy. He had a sugar mill. So when he was dying, all his sons were surrounding him. All his relatives were near him, and he shouted just before his death. He shouted, "Oh, all of you are here. Who is there in my mill? Who is there in sugar mill?" So even though while he was dying, he was thinking of his sugar mill. Right? Prabhupada used to say that he would become probably a rat in his sugar mill in the next life because he's too attached to the sugar mill. Similarly, when we are stuck in this duality, which means when we are stuck in this material world, we are will come back again in this world. And these are the three kaleshas that comes with duality. One is adhyatmic kalesha, that comes from body. So what happens, when we are attached with our body, then we expect body to reciprocate properly, but that body will never do that. The body is designed in a certain way, which means it will take birth, then grow after some time, and then adult, and then after a certain age, it will keep deteriorating. Deteriorating means it will, get caught by certain disease, then something else, and then eventually die. So the product itself has been designed in a way to give us miseries. So, for example, from a washing machine, you will not expect to give you a fruit juice. I mean, it is designed to wash the clothes. So it's like that. So body has been designed in a way that it will fall sick and then old age and death. So obviously the miseries will come. Similarly, we have Adi Bhautik Kalesh, which means when we will expect from people, they will not reciprocate back. That will also hurt us. Then Adi Devik Kalesh, all the natural calamities in this world that come up, they will also give us Kalesh. So these three. So sometimes if someone say no, I don't want to rise from duality, then no problem, he will be stuck in these kaleshas. And then
Prabhuji, I have a question here that you raise about the medical issues or bodily issues in the Adhyatmic Kalesh. But Adhyatmic does not mean to have the relation with the God. Then how comes the bodily issues comes to this place?
Yeah, the yesterday class also, we were discussing that Brahma has 5 meanings. So we'll have to see the reference, like Brahma, sometime Brahma Jigyasa, inquiry into absolute truth. So here in Vedanta Sutra, when it comes, we understand, okay, Brahma means absolute truth. Somewhere Brahma means body also. Somewhere Brahma means Atma also. Somewhere Brahma means universe also. So here Adhyatma means body. Right?
Okay.
So it goes by the context we are, discussing about. Then comes another argument. Now, some people might say, why are you telling this to us? Why we only are eligible? For example, an IITian is not asking why you get me only an admission into IIT, because he prepared so much for that, and then now he has cleared the entrance exam, so he is eligible to get into that college. Similarly, as a human being, we actually have qualified. We have done some karma because of which we are human beings, but animals cannot understand this. And that's where this shloka that we also discussed in some of, I think, previous classes as well. It says ahar nidra bhaymetunam cha samaneta pashubhi narana dharmo hitesha madhiko vishesho dharme nahina pashubhi samana. So it says ahar nidra bhaymetunam cha, eating, sleeping, mating, defending are the things which animals are also doing. So if a human being is also doing the same thing, which means he is actually, he can be again given a birth as a animal only, because he's not utilizing this body properly. Like a Ferrari car, if you gift a Ferrari, if someone gets a Ferrari car and he uses that Ferrari car to run in a village, that will not be an intelligent idea. If he's actually using the Ferrari car, then he should be running that on a highway to experience the adventurous side. So similarly, this human body it has a higher purpose. It is not just for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That is why it is not for animals to understand this spiritual knowledge, and only that's why only human beings can understand that they have to rise beyond duality. If they are stuck here, then they will continuously be like a pendulum. Like a pendulum. It's like this, sometimes like this. It's never here. So you call it as happiness, and this might be distress. So so we will be somewhere will be happiness, sometime it will be distress. We will never be able to be sattvastu. It's called sattvastu. Sattvastha. So to situate in sattvastu, so we can enjoy the eternal blissful life, we have to accept spirituality and practice the ABCD that we always discussed. Association, book reading, chanting, and diet. That is why animal cannot do it. They will always be part of this pendulum, somewhere here, somewhere here. So it is such a rare opportunity for all of us to practice. So there are certain examples like animal, what animal cannot do it. So many things. Animal cannot discuss, like animal cannot come on a Zoom class and discuss these spiritual topics. They cannot chant or partake in Sankirtan, all these pictures. Animal cannot do this. Only human beings can do this. That's why it says that it is a rare chance. Otherwise, losing the chance will be a difficult part. There are some quotes from other visionaries. They quote about absolute truth. So yeah, so if someone says, okay, I have understood why to practice spirituality, because one has to rise beyond duality, which means the search of absolute truth comes. So what happens? Vedas are very intelligent. So Vedas say, or a Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is teaching the science to Arjuna, you see, when Krishna told Arjuna that no problem, if you will win the war, you can enjoy the kingdom, and if you lose, you can enjoy the heavenly planet. Arjuna did not convince actually. If he will convince, he will immediately say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and then he will fight, correct? But he is not getting convinced. Why? Because he is very intelligent. He understood that it is part of duality actually, winning or losing, and he is still not, he did not settle in that argument. He continued the discussion. Why? Because he wanted to come on the level of absolute truth. So anytime we take shelter of the spirituality, that means we are fully convinced in our life, at least to some extent we are convinced that there is higher truth or absolute truth. And that's where spirituality comes into picture. Spirituality says, oh, you want to stay as part of rat race? Yes, I'm enjoying it. Oh, no problem. That you don't need scriptures or spirituality. Enjoy life like animals, no problem. And in fact, in the next life, Krishna will give you another body so you can nicely enjoy. For example, someone is sleeping whole day, and then spirituality comes, and then scriptures comes, and then the scriptures say, do you want to come out of this habit? Do you want to accept truth beyond it? No, I'm enjoying my sleeping very much. Okay, no problem. You can become a bear in the next life. The bear sleeps like 6 months. The polar bear, he sleeps like 6 months in a year. So Krishna will give you another suitable body so you can freely enjoy. But some person says, no, actually I really want to take shelter of Krishna. Please help me understand. Then scripture says, yes, we are for you. You can read us. So that's where the search of absolute truth starts. So these are some quotes. Absolute truth is not dependent upon public opinion and popularity. So what does it mean actually? I remember first time when I came to US in 2010, and I was in Hartford. And I was talking to this. I was talking to my client. She was saying that, day before yesterday, I went with my son, and we went out to have a drink together. I was like, okay. And she was like, what happened? I said, no, actually, this is my first time in US, so I'm not very much familiar with your culture. And then she was like, no, really, what happened? I said, no, but in India, it's not. In India, it's not considered very um, appropriate. That first of all, if my parents will hear that I have a drinking habit, they'll start scolding me. And now going with parents is a very, very big thing. Then she was like, no, it's fine in US. Then I said, okay. So you see, when it comes to spirituality, and you will meet people, some people have their own idea about this and that. But that's what he's saying, that spirituality is not dependent upon public opinion or popularity. Absolute truth means absolute truth. He is as he is. We cannot change it. So I had some certain conception based on my culture, and then my client had certain conception about his own culture, her own culture. But what actually is happening here, we are understanding that this is the relative truth. There should be some absolute behavior that all the living entities should be following. That's what he is bringing here. Absolute truth is not dependent upon public opinion or popularity. So what is this truth? It is this gospel. It is the gospel of Jesus Christ. So he's giving certain example like that. Similarly, he's saying truth is objective because God exists outside ourselves. It is universal because God is above all. It is constant because God is eternal. Absolute truth is absolute because it originates from the original. Plato was a disciple of Socrates, and he was a great philosopher actually. So he said, the philosopher is in love with the truth. That is not with the changing word of sensation. The word of sensation means the word gives the sensation of in the form of happiness or distress. Some sensation will keep coming. Sometimes you feel very happiness. Wow, this happened in my life, and then suddenly it's like this is not happening in my life. So this is a word of sensation, and so he's saying that this philosopher is saying that as a philosopher is saying he is not in love with the truth. So which truth is saying? Not in the truth that comes from this word. This word gives a relative truth, the word of sensation. He's saying the truth which is the object of, he's saying sensation which is the object of opinion. When I was preparing for engineering exam, to crack the engineering entrance, for me getting an admission in some college was very blissful. And you consider who is a very meritorious student who is preparing for IIT, for him anything lesser than IIT is a painful thing. So he is saying object of opinion. So I had certain opinion, I should be, no, I'm fine with this. And he had certain opinion, no, I need at least IIT. So we build certain opinion based on our conditioning. Based on that, we start getting some sensation. Like a beggar on the street, you give him $1,000, he will be happy. To a billionaire, probably will get $1,000. He's like, okay, fine. It's a matter of conditioning. What conditioning we are in, and then accordingly we perceive that sensation. But a philosopher is not interested in such type of sensations or the truth coming out of that sensation. So he's saying, but with the unchanging reality, which is the object of knowledge. That's where knowledge comes into picture, the absolute knowledge. And this is an amazing quote from Socrates that I love very much. He says, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of dark. But the real tragedy of life is when a man are afraid of the light. What is light? Light means knowledge. Man is afraid of knowledge. I always give this example, like a young son who is playing the cricket, and you give him the knowledge that tomorrow is your exam. He will not like this idea because he wants to enjoy cricket. He said, I will understand this truth later. First, let me enjoy this. That is why so many people, they request to come in this Bhagavad Gita class, they will not come. They want to accept the truth. They want to enjoy in their own life. Because as soon as you will give them this knowledge, they will have to remember the death. There is death, there is a rebirth. They should practice spirituality. They say, no, we don't want to hear that. Let us enjoy. And that's what Socrates is saying. That's the real tragedy of life. That people don't want to hear the absolute truth. They want to gain this knowledge and become happy. They want to just enjoy the cricket match of their own life. Now the search of absolute truth starts, spirituality comes into picture. That's where all these courses related with Bhagavad Gita, we talk about association of devotees, we talk about book reading, chanting, everything comes into picture. So this is the first word that comes, Athatho Brahm Jigyasa Brahm Vedanta Sutra. Athatho, therefore inquire into absolute truth. Why therefore? It's saying because we are human beings, we should be interested. We should not be interested into eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, but in spirituality, to know who is the absolute truth. And when we know that Krishna is absolute truth, then comes the next step. So there are three things actually. There is, we'll discuss this in our next class also Sunday. The 9th chapter is actually very, very amazing chapter. 9th chapter is entitled as the most confidential knowledge, the most, which means you read physics, chemistry, math, biology, accounting, anything. But the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is entitled as most confidential, which means what a secret it must be having. There are three words. One is Guhya, and then there is another Sanskrit word which is called Guhyatara, and then Guhyatam. There are three words in Sanskrit. So Guhya means confidential, and then Guhyatara means more confidential, and then Guhyatam means most confidential. So whatever we have discussed from chapter 2 to chapter 6, this is Guhya. Whatever we have discussed in Bhagavad Gita from chapter 2 to chapter 6, because what it is talking about, the confidential knowledge about soul. See, many people don't know about soul. So many people in your area you talk to, they don't know about soul. I remember a few days back, I was walking towards this hallway, and so many people were standing in line to enter into the restaurant. Restaurant was about to open, and one of the devotees started talking to one of the visitor, and I heard him saying, he was saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful you are talking to me." People are actually amazed that this knowledge, why this knowledge is not in our daily, in our regular curriculum. We should be reading about it. What this knowledge is about soul and karma, how karma works. People get a lot of peace. In Thursday, University UTA, when I went, after the class, we were wrapping up when this student came and she was like, I was in actually very, stressful situation. And this is my first class, but I'm feeling so relaxed now. It gives people so much relaxed that the person you are crying for was actually soul. And he has not died, he just changed his body. Just give an example, let's say. So this is the confidential knowledge. Many people don't know, and we discussed about it. So all thanks to Lord Shri Krishna. And then Guhyatara means more confidential. More confidential means, oh, you are the soul, and you are different from the body. But Guhyatara, that comes in 7th and 8th chapter, where we talk about bhakti. That while doing our own duty, we can do bhakti also. This is more confidential, because knowing that we are not the body, we are the soul, we should be working on the soul level, fine. But we can actually do devotion also while doing our duty. That's amazing. And then the 9th chapter, we will discuss most confidential, which means very few people know about it. And even Arjuna was also surprised. He was like, oh, why, if this is most confidential, then why people are not following it? Because some of them must be knowing, he should be preaching. Then Krishna will tell about those people also why they are not following. So we'll discuss this in the 9th chapter. So 9th and 10th chapter, both. Our following 2 Sundays are going to be really important. So all of you, please try to not miss them. So this is called Guhyatam, most confidential knowledge. This is actually, this is called Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti. In Hindi, the Prabhupada entitled this chapter is Ananya Bhakti. Unflinching faith in Krishna. And we'll also discuss how do we increase our faith in Krishna and qualified to be Ananya Bhakta of Lord Supreme Personality of God. Okay, so that's it. We will stop here. If there is any question, we can discuss. Actually,
Prabhuji, you told about chapter 9. What about from 10 to 12, 10 to 18?
yeah, so there are three. Let me share my screen again. So in like we discussed this in chapter 1 when we started Bhagavad Gita course. So there are 18 chapters, in Bhagavad Gita. So you can qualify them as first 6 legs, you can say. So here comes Karma Yoga. Sorry. Here comes Karma Yoga. And then this is devotion to Krishna, Bhakti Yoga. And then last 6 chapters is mainly about Jnana Yoga, mainly Jnana Yoga. So in this 6 also, you will see the in middle 6 chapter also, the 9 and 10 are exclusively about devotion. 9 and 10 chapter. Even though all 6 chapters are devotion, but this 9 and 10 chapter are more centered about devotion. Yeah. That makes sense, Devesh Bro?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. There's a question. Question is how to overcome these 3 gunas and what is the nature of person. Yeah, so how to overcome is what you are doing. You have to chant. So the again ABCD thing, ABCD thing. We have to take association of devotees, book reading. So for association, we had one association yesterday also. Similarly, one association you can take in your weekly class Bhakti Vraksha that you must be having. So try to take advantage of such more of such associations actually. And then book reading, have these books and have a habit of daily reading and chanting and diet. I think all of you have already started chanting. Some of you are chanting 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Some of you have already come on 16 rounds. And then diet means whatever we are having, we can offer it to Krishna. So you can have some pictures in your home, small pictures also fine. And then start offering them to Krishna. So that is the nature of the person is, so the second question is what is the nature of person? So nature of person, so you see on my screen, so you consider it as a spiritual word, and then this is the material word. Right? What this line is called? This line is called Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti. This separates the spiritual word and material word. So when a person falls here, in the material world, immediately he comes into what? Ignorance. He has no knowledge of anything. He doesn't know anything about soul, Paramatma, nothing he knows about. And then he starts doing his own activities here. And this layer of ignorance covers him like anything, more and more and more and more and more and more ignorance. That's where when we discuss this Bhagavad Gita classes and then start doing this spirituality practice through ABCD formula, then slowly these layers, they kept removing from the soul. And when all the ignorance is completely destroyed, the soul becomes eternally blissful. Satchit Ananda, eternally blissful, full of knowledge. So what is the nature of the person? Nature of the person is to stay in ignorance. And what is his duty? His primary duty is come out of this ignorance. How? By following ABCD formula. Association, book reading, chanting, and that. Okay, let me see if there is another question. Okay, so I think Jay Prabhu, you are from Plano and Mataji are from Plano, so I got a contact for you. I will be passing that contact for you so you can attend Bhakti Vraksha there. So I will be sharing. Thank you once again, all of you joined this session and some of you joined yesterday also. So I'm very thankful to all of you to give us your association. I hope all of you had a great time. Okay. So let's stop now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.